The United Nations currently uses private security and military contractors to carry out its work across the globe. These are private corporations that provide armed security guards and troops. There has been much concern about the increasing use of such forces, especially after private military contractors murdered 17 Iraqi civilians in 2007. Military contractors working for the U.S. have been charged with defrauding the government, disregarding the safety of employees, and enabling crimes against civilians. The United Nations Working Group on the Use of Mercenaries convened a meeting Wednesday to discuss the continuing use of the corporations. Many of the delegates were critical of what was said by the working group. Secretary Alfredo Toro of the delegation of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela disagreed with the contention that the world was growing less safe and so private security firms must be hired.
Is the world more dangerous now than during World War II? Is it more dangerous now than it was under nuclear mutually assured destruction? Is it really? So, I think the premise that the world is more dangerous and therefore requires more security is at the core of the debate that we're having today, and it merits some further discussion.
Many were also concerned about the lack of accountability of these forces after many scandals that took place in Iraq. Forazandia Vediati, representing the delegation of the Islamic Republic of Iran, raised such concerns.
How United Nations and a relevant body would manage the issue of accountability and responsibility of these forces. And based on the experiences we had, we saw in Iraq by Blackwater and the other companies. While still there is no clear definition of this issue in the framework of international humanitarian law.
The possibility of corruption and cronyism was raised by Rick Cottam, representing the United Nations Staff Federation. He pointed out that very large amounts of money were going to these large corporations.
$10,000 per month per security contractor. It then goes to question how much are the people who are ordering those services paying? If they're paying the person on the ground $10,000, what's the bill to the government or the organization who's recruiting those services?
The presentation by the working group discussed the use of contractors by the UN for both armed guards and for peace operations. The working group will continue to research and discuss the issue. While the United Nations continues to use private military and security contractors, many have raised concerns and questions about the risks involved. Caleb Maupin, Press TV, New York.